You ever been wronged so badly that you sat there wondering, how the hell is this person getting away with it? You were the best friend, loyal and true, but they stabbed you in the back without a second thought. Or maybe you were the employee who busted your hump for the company, only to be screwed over for a promotion by your boss. You poured your heart and soul into it. You gave it your all, and for what? A pat on the back and a good job, while they reap the rewards of your labor. Yeah, we've all been there. You feel betrayed, lied to, disrespected. And for a long time you think, maybe life isn't fair. Maybe people can just use you, discard you, and move on like nothing happened. But let me tell you a story. There's a reason why we call it poetic justice, or cosmic retribution. The universe has a way of evening the score. When you think you've been dealt a bad hand, cheated out of a fair shot, don't worry. The universe has a way of taking care of things. Listen to what I'm about to tell you, because this isn't just some feel-good fantasy. This is hard science mixed with lived experience. And once you understand what I'm about to share with you, you won't have to waste a single minute on revenge. Here are the 5 signs to watch for that show you karma is coming for somebody who wronged you. The first sign to look for is their whole world starting to crumble down. I remember the guy who tried to screw me out of my hard-earned money. First it looked like he had it all. The fast cars, the big house, always having the cash to burn. But behind the facade, his relationships were falling apart. His wife was distant, his kids ashamed to talk about him. Even his parents stopped taking his calls. I know it might be hard to believe, but karma often starts its payback in ways you wouldn't expect. It doesn't take their money, but it does take their peace. You see, karma doesn't need to punish them publicly, doesn't need to make a grand spectacle. Sometimes the quietest acts are the most powerful. And I learned this lesson the hard way. It's not about watching them lose everything. It's about knowing that somewhere deep inside, their inner world is collapsing. They might still wear the same expensive clothes, drive the same fancy car, but ask yourself, what's the point of all? That when your closest family avoids you, when the ones you loved the most no longer want to be near you. When that happens, you know karma has arrived. Number 2. The second sign to watch for is their reputation turning to trash. I worked for a man once who thought he was untouchable. Charismatic leader, that's what they called him. The kind of guy who could talk his way into any boardroom and convince anyone to trust him. But behind closed doors, he is a demon. He treated people like disposable pawns, stepping on anyone who got in his way. But guess what? Karma has a way of turning the tables. One day I heard whispers in the hallway, rumors spreading like wildfire. Then the news broke. His empire was crumbling. His business partners turned out to be shady. His customers accused him of scamming them. Before long, his name was Mud. That's right. His reputation, once his most valuable asset, became his downfall. Karma stripped him of the respect he thought he earned and tossed it into the gutter. And here's the kicker. People who used to admire him now mocked him. Those who once praised him now criticized him. Karma doesn't just take their money, ruins their reputation. It leaves their legacy in tatters. And that, my friends, is a fate worse than losing everything. Number 3, their facade crumbles. The third sign to watch for is their facade crumbling. In the corporate jungle, I knew this woman who climbed her way to the top, using every dirty trick in the book. She lied, she cheated, she spread rumors. But karma has a way of catching up to even the most cunning. Out of the blue, her boss called her into his office for a quick chat. She felt a mix of excitement and nerves as she walked in, wondering what was up. No small talk, no pleasantries. He laid it all out on the table, the complaints, the accusations, the evidence he had gathered against her, and then he fired her. But that wasn't the end. The company banned her from working there again. Other companies blacklisted her. Her career, once on an upward trajectory, suddenly hit rock bottom. Karma stripped her bare, exposed her for the fraud she was, and guess what? Nobody wanted her toxic self anymore. Her carefully crafted image shattered like glass. That's right. Karma doesn't just take their money, it tears down their carefully constructed facades. And when that happens, there's no hiding who they really are. Number 4. The fourth sign to watch for is when everything in their lives goes wrong all at once. You see, karma isn't a patient god. When it decides to collect on a debt, it comes knocking with all the force of a Category 5 hurricane. The funny thing is, sometimes things go wrong for a reason. Pay attention to these signs. I remember the guy who swindled our team out of thousands of dollars. For a moment, he walked away with the cash, and we felt helpless. But karma doesn't wait. It works on its own timetable. Soon after, his business deals started falling through. Investors pulled out last minute. Contracts he thought were solid turned to dust. It was like dominoes, one falling after another. And let me tell you, it was beautiful to witness. Karma doesn't just take their money, it slams the door on their luck, turns their fortune to misfortune, and crashes their entire empire. It's like they're playing a game of roulette, but the losing streak lasts forever. Number 5, they lose the ones they love. The fifth and final sign is the most painful, the most revealing, and the most powerful. They lose the ones they love. Karma doesn't play games, doesn't mess around. When it's time for payback, it pulls out all the stops. You know that person who cheated on their spouse, bragged about it, laughed in your face, thought they were untouchable? Well, karma has a way of making you pay for your actions. They've lost their partner, not just any partner, their soulmate. And listen closely. Karma doesn't just rip them away. Karma lets them walk away. Cheated, lied, manipulated, and in the end, you find yourself alone. That's right. Karma doesn't just take their money. It takes their loved ones. It leaves them abandoned and heartbroken, shreds their relationships, destroys their families. When that happens, you know karma is paying a visit. Remember, this isn't about revenge. This is about understanding. Karma is a force to be reckoned with. When it comes for someone who wronged you, they're in for the ride of their life. It's not your job to chase karma. It's your job to heal, to grow, and to focus on your own journey. Let karma handle the rest. You focus on being the best version of yourself. That's where the real power lies. Remember these words. The world never forgets a debt of betrayal. If this message spoke to you, if you've ever been wronged and you're waiting for justice, subscribe to Secrets to Growing Rich. Because here, we don't waste time on revenge. We master ourselves, we grow stronger, and we let karma handle the weak. They laugh now, but they're cooked.